Hey everyone, today we are going to crack the code on one of the smallest, but let's be honest, one of the most confusing little words in the entire French language, the pronoun en. So if you've ever found yourself staring at this tiny two-letter word, just feeling totally lost, trust me, you are not alone. But what if I told you there's one simple, single rule that could unlock pretty much everything you need to know about it? Well, let's dive in.
So let's get right to it. This is what I like to call the golden rule of en.
Here it is, the big secret. En simply replaces something that's introduced by the preposition de. That is pretty much it, seriously. Think of de as the trigger. Anytime you see a phrase starting with de, or its variations like du, de la, or des, that's your cue. En is almost always the word that's going to step in to replace it.
Okay, let's see this golden rule in action. So, instead of saying the full sentence, je parle de ce livre, you can just swap out that whole de ce livre part for en. And what you get is a much smoother, way more natural-sounding sentence, j'en parle, I talk about it. See how clean that is?
Here's another one, this time with de meaning from. Elle vient de Paris becomes elle en vient. She comes from there. Are you seeing the pattern? The whole phrase with de just, poof, disappears, and en slots in right before the verb. It's a really neat trick. All right, let's build on that. Next up, we're going to look at how en works with quantities. And you'll see this is just a perfect, logical extension of that golden rule we just talked about. So you might be asking, why quantities? Well, think about it. How are quantities usually expressed in French? Almost always with de. When you say some apples, you say des pommes, which remember is just a form of de. So anytime you're talking about a number, an amount, or just sum of something, en is your best friend. Let's break it down real simple. You start with il mange des pommes. He eats some apples. That des pommes part is our quantity, so we just replace it with en. The result? Il en mange. He eats some. Simple, clean, and sounds totally French.
Now, what if you have a specific number? This is a really key detail, so listen up. You have the sentence, j'ai trois frères. You still replace the noun, frère, with en. But, and this is the important part, you keep the number at the end of the sentence. So it becomes, j'en ai trois. I have 3 of them. That en basically means of them.
And this logic doesn't just stop with numbers. It works perfectly with all these super common phrases for quantity. You know, beaucoup de, peu de, and so on. What do they all have in common? They all end in de, which is our big, flashing sign.
So, following that exact same pattern, elle a beaucoup d'amis becomes, you've probably already guessed it, elle en a beaucoup. She has a lot of them. See? Once you spot that de trigger, it just starts to click into place everywhere.
Okay, you're doing great. Let's keep going. Next up, en with common verbs. This is where knowing just a few key verbs can make using en feel almost like second nature.
So, there are a bunch of verbs in French that are basically married to the preposition de. Think of verbs like parler de, avoir besoin de, or se souvenir de. Whenever the thing you're talking about, needing, or remembering is, well, a thing or an idea, you can just replace that whole de plus the object chunk with en.
Check out this example. Instead of saying the full kind of clunky sentence, je me souviens de cette histoire, the much more fluent and common way to say it is je m'en souviens. I remember it. Just more concise, and it lets en do all the heavy lifting. All right, so we know what en does. Now we've got to nail down where it actually goes in a sentence. This part is crucial, but don't worry, the rule is pretty straightforward. Let's talk about placement. So where does en live? The rule is super simple. It almost always snuggles up right before the verb it's connected to. So in the present tense, that's il en mange. In the passé composé, it pops in right before the helper verb avoir or être. So j'en ai acheté. And if you have two verbs, like a future tense, it goes right before the infinitive, the second verb, je vais en acheter. Okay, you've got the rules, you've seen a bunch of examples. Now it is time to put your knowledge to the test. Let's do a quick practice round. You ready? First one, someone asks you, tu veux du café? Do you want some coffee? How do you answer yes, I want some, using our new favorite word? I'll give you a second to think. Oui, j'en veux.
And the answer is oui, j'en veux, of course, because du café is a quantity, it gets replaced by en. Perfect. Nicely done.
Okay, lightning round. Next up, elle a trois chats. She has 3 cats. How do you say she has 3 of them? Elle a trois. Go.
You got it.
It's elle en a trois. We replace the noun, chat, but we remember to keep the number. You are absolutely getting the hang of this.
Okay, last one to really lock it in. Nous parlons de ce film. We are talking about this movie. How do you shorten that to make it sound supernatural? Nous-parlons.
And the final answer is nous en parlons. We're talking about it. Because parler de is one of those special verbs that loves de. Excellent work.
So, after all that, if you only remember one thing from today, let it be this. It all boils down to this simple summary. En replaces de plus something, or it replaces a quantity. If you can burn that into your brain, you have basically mastered the core concept.
And that's it. That is the big secret of En. Totally unlocked. It's not so scary after all, is it? So my question for you is this. Now that you know the rule, now that you're in on the secret, where are you going to use it first?